it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side, going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
All right, good to be with all you fine Buckeye fans on our Wednesday show. Wednesday is DeVier Day. And look, it still is DeVier Day. DeVier Posey is here with us. We got my man Rhyme Time back there running things. It's good to see you, buddy. I'm Timmy Hall, as you know. And it's a special Wednesday, DeVier, because, I don't know, we do the applause thing. I could give it for you and also our very special guest in studio for the whole entire hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the athletics director of The Ohio State University. He hasn't been on the job that long, but I feel like he's been here for a while because we've had a big hire already with the men's basketball team. We're right smack in the middle of a huge football season. We're coming off this loss that has Buckeye Nation talking about everything. Ross Bjork is here. Ross, thanks for coming into the studio. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me on, but Tim, if I would have known that I was going to take over DeVier Posey Day.
No, don't do it.
We would have picked another night because I don't want to step on his toes.
Don't do it. No.
By any means. And there's no way I can live up to his hype and his legacy and
listen, Ross,
all the great things he did for the Buckeyes. So, I'm kind of I'll be second fiddle. DeVier deserves to be front.
Oh no,
front and center.
Guys, how good is this guy? Right? We're 5 seconds into the show. He's selling us on DeVier already.
Tim,
how great he is.
You didn't tell me. No, I appreciate you guys. It's really cool to be on with both of you guys. I've listened to you guys. I mean, I try to keep up, but there's a lot of shows that cover the Buckeyes.
Absolutely.
But obviously, this is the flagship station. Yep. This is the first time I've been in studio doing a show. I've been on, Bobby's show, and
I heard you on there right after you were named.
Right after I was named, and a couple other shows at the Woody, during fall camp. But first time in studio. But I just can't believe we have Bobby Carpenter's jersey that we have to look at.
You got AJ Hawk, you got Bobby Carpenter. And for, Ross describes the studio here, and you guys know, like, we've been doing this for a while now, so you can watch the show on YouTube. We generally are in this hour here where people might be getting home from their drives, and then we can tell them they can go in the house and take over the big screen because they're all smart TVs now, and they can throw the show right up there and force their whole entire family to watch us. So
there you go.
That's a good thing to do. Ross, you mentioned you listen, you check out the shows and everything. Do you try to stay away when we're in a week like this? Because I know we're in a split here where glass half full people, glass half empty people with the Buckeye football team and some of these top 5 games recently. We're coming off the one against Oregon. Of course, they can still play for everything. You were out there. You saw it. Your thoughts?
I saw it. Let's go back to the first thing you mentioned. I think part of my job is to understand the pulse. Right?
No doubt.
But I have a theme that I've operated on for years and years, and it's kind of what you just said. But never too high, never too low. Right? My job is to keep things down the middle, to keep things in perspective. What do we need to do to fix anything? Are there any deficiencies? How do we analyze this? But there's no way. Younger in my career, earlier in my career when I was younger, there was times where you would, oh my God, we have to react to everything on social media. Oh my God, this person said this, or you can't do that. In this era, there's way too much volume. So look, if people are tweeting at me, I don't have my mentions turned on. I don't see it.
Good call.
I stay focused. I try to be positive on social media with my Twitter presence. If you reply to everybody, where do you start? Where do you stop? Look, we need to pay attention. We need to understand. I said it at my opening press conference. This is a public trust of the state of Ohio, meaning that everybody feels like they have a piece of it, which is great. That's a great asset to have. Let's use that to our advantage. And then, when you stub your toe and you have a tough loss, you have to embrace the expectations. You have to understand that this is Ohio State. This is not for the faint of heart. Yeah. And I knew that going in. Coach Day knows that. But it's our job to stay focused. You know how it is in the locker room. You got to stay focused. You got to stay positive. Yeah. If I don't believe, then who will? Yeah. So you can't get sucked in to a lot of that, but you have to stay the course, stay positive. And look, it's a long season. I mean, you know how it is, DeVier. It's a long season. There's lots of ball left. So it's one game. It's not going to define this team or this program or this year.
Do you refrain from evaluating?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Do you refrain from that at this point?
Look, I think what's been really neat about Coach Day, and look, I've had all kinds of relationships with all kinds of coaches, right? Some where you're really locked in and you're really dialed in, and then there's some coaches that they don't want any part of any discussion, especially during the season, right? They're kind of locked in, they're focused, they got their head down. Man, Coach Day, he and I can just have an open book, and I think that's been really healthy. That we've really connected that way. We've locked arms. We're arm in arm in this thing, and so, what my job is. Hey, Coach. Hey, what did you see? Hey, Coach. What do you think you're going to go through to fix what needs to be fixed? Whatever those elements might be. And here's the thing: we lost by 1 point to the number 3 team in a hostile environment on the road. Had the ball. Yeah, some things could have went our way.
Yep.
But we were right there.
Yep.
So. Yep. It's not like we're so far off of this thing.
No.
It's not like last year was so far off.
Yeah.
Like we are right there. Yeah, it's just one or two things. Mm-hmm. And, Coach and I talked about that in the offseason, right? 1 or 2 things in last year's game against the team up north. Yeah. It's a total different script, right? The thing about this year is it's a 12-team playoff. Mm-hmm. There's still a runway, right? Play for the Big Ten championship.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have a rematch against that team. So the goals are still in front of us. So, you have to evaluate. You always evaluate, Tim, and everything that we do. If we don't do that, then, we're not doing our job. But stay in the moment and look at big picture. And so that's what I do in a week like this is you got to stay really above the fray and stay focused.
And I wanted to ask you, just from your standpoint, you got here in January. I mean, took the job in January, started in March, and then officially on board this summer. Do your evaluations for head coaches in all sports, basketball, football, baseball, does it start at the start of your tenure in your mind, or do you look at things before you here, or can you only evaluate from when you started the job?
I think you really have to see it, kind of in person, if you will. Obviously, the basketball decision was made by Gene to make a change with Coach Holtman. I had asked him, when I got the job, hey, Gene, is there anybody on the radar for the spring that I need to be kind of keeping my eye on just in case that we needed to make a transition? And, he had mentioned a couple sports, and he had mentioned basketball, that he was concerned whether or not the page could kind of be flipped and kind of get the confidence back and get the fans back. And so he mentioned that. Didn't say that he was going to make a change. He just said, I'm concerned. Yeah. And then we talked again at the end of January, and he said, I'm not feeling it. I hope we can do it. We're all trying to stay positive. Yeah. And then, mid-February, he called me and he said, so much for your 1 month sabbatical. You're going to go to work on a coaching search. So that piece, that was kind of in motion. But no, I think you have to really sit down and get to know these coaches, get to know their program identity. I met with every single head coach one-on-one from the time I got here on March 3rd all the way until some I didn't complete until after I took over on July the 1st. Tell me your program identity. Tell me your recruiting philosophy. Give me your assessment of your staff. Tell me any barriers to success. Tell me some history. Tell me how long you've been here. Tell me your story. Why do you coach? What brings you love? What brings you joy out of coaching? So I wanted to get to know what they say. I always ask the question when I hire coaches, tell me what your program identity would be if you're the head coach at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Asking that to current coaches that are here is really fascinating because most of them have been established here for a while. So it's really – so I think you have to learn that. You have to understand that before you really – now, if something's on fire and you know that it's just not going well for whatever reason and there's no momentum and there's no – no positive leadership and the culture's bad, you can probably make a quick assessment on that. But I think overall, if you have a smooth transition, you're going to get to know people and the place and the culture.
Yeah. Ross Bjork is the athletics director here at Ohio State. He's on the Buckeye Show with us here for the whole entire show. So if you're just checking us out, this is good for you. He's with us until 7 o'clock tonight. What have you learned about the Buckeye fans, especially as it pertains to football now and how we watch and divulge a football season and how we deal with a loss in the middle of the season in a big game. Has that surprised you?
We're spoiled.
I just told you I'm not reading social media. No,
we're spoiled.
Yeah, but you got to know the pulse.
Yeah,
you still know.
You know, it's fascinating. You know, my mom grew up in Northwest Ohio. And so I've got family all throughout the state of Ohio. They all grew up Buckeye fans. If you're from this state, you're a Buckeye fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been hearing about some of the ups and downs of Ohio State football for a long time. I'm almost 52 years old, so I've heard about it just about all my life. Mm-hmm. My mom still thinks that Woody Hayes should not have been fired. You know, she can't believe that they got rid of Woody. And I said, well, that was on video.
It's just an involuntary spasm.
Right.
Happened.
And so, you know, I've been
had
hearing
one this weekend.
Yeah. Sure did. We're not talking about him.
Yeah. And and it goes back to what I said. This is a public trust. Everything we do matters. There will be, after I do this 1 hour with you guys, how many articles will be written about? This is what Ross Bjork said on the Buckeye Show.
Absolutely.
Meaning everything matters. So every win matters, every loss matters. So I think you have to understand the magnitude of this program. You have to understand that when you have that logo on your chest, when it says Ohio State and the block O, that it's magnified. And so I think when you understand that, you say, okay, how do we keep things in perspective? How do we make sure we have a vision? How do we make sure we have a plan? You can't deviate from your plan. You can't deviate from saying these are the ingredients of successful football programs or lacrosse programs or hockey or whatever it is. You can't deviate. You have to stay the course. My job is, again, to be the number one cheerleader of this program, because if I don't believe, then who will? So to me, you got to keep things in perspective. But also, look, we know the expectations. We signed up for it. So we get all that, and you got to keep it in perspective.
Yeah, we know it. We know it. A very specific question was brought to my attention at work here today, and I know it's one that's near and dear to a lot of football fans around here. So that and more. Okay. We've got the Ohio State Athletics Director, Ross Bjork. DeVier is here. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Want to kick off your fall shopping with a touchdown? Shop Bob's Discount Furniture for pieces that fit your style and your space. Check out Bob's space-conscious and style-forward furniture for every room, like counter-height dining sets, convenient lift-top coffee tables, guest-friendly pop-up sleepers, and storage-filled seating perfect for game day hangouts. So stop and score winning design with Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Imagine a tailgate, the heat of the flame, the sizzle of the burger, the squeeze of the ketchup. Grilling is essential to tailgating as the game itself. Weber grills are there in the hours, minutes, and even seconds before kickoff. Before the best damn band in the land plays the battle cry, signaling it's time to take the field. Weber is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. This season, Weber created an officially licensed limited edition Ohio State grill inspired by the iconic Buckeye helmets. Find the best damn grill in the land at local Ohio retailers.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Soy has been keeping secrets, and it's ready to share. Soybeans are among the most versatile agricultural products. They are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we all love and use every day. Ohio is leading the way, developing new uses for soybeans to support our changing world. Soy low-key slays, and I'm here for it. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. Fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football season.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
There's a shocking new government report about the border crisis Sherrod Brown created. According to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, almost 500,000 convicted criminals have entered our country illegally, including nearly 30,000 found guilty of murder and sexual assault, including rape in their home countries. Now they are spread out across America because of Sherrod Brown's policies. But Sherrod Brown says,
I don't hear a lot about immigration from voters.
That's because Sherrod Brown doesn't listen to voters anymore. And while our safety is being jeopardized, Sherrod Brown is making sure illegals get taxpayer-funded benefits, like health care for illegals who get amnesty, Social Security, even COVID relief checks, all paid for by you. 31 years in Washington has changed Sherrod Brown. He's not for us anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Some sunshine, but still breezy and chilly on this Wednesday. Temperatures in the low 50s. Overnight falling all the way down to near the freezing mark, and that means a freeze warning in effect for much of central Ohio. But after a chilly start, a pleasant finish. Light winds and plenty of sunshine with highs Thursday in the low 60s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
All Buckeyes all the time. You're welcome. This is the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Yes, it is. Timmy Hall, DeVier Posey, and our Ohio State Athletics Director, Ross Bjork, is here today. Now, this probably was never on your bingo card, but Ross is now going to get to hear me tell all the fine folks about my friends at Tri-State Men's Health. This is real radio here. Because men, there's an issue that can cause you problems later in life, and that issue is the dreaded erectile dysfunction, and you don't want any part of it. You can't have that be a part of your life. It's a terrible condition. It causes stress in the relationship. It creates anxiety and undue hardships. You just got to get it out. You got to have it out of there. You got to have zip on that spiral when you go in to battle, right? So you call my guys, or you just go online, tristatemenshealth.com. They've got wonderful locations all over Ohio, 2 here in central Ohio, the one I see right there in Hilliard off of Cemetery Road and 270 for the low testosterone treatment. They've got treatments with success rates well over 90%. So when the pills and herbals fail, you can see them. Some can have you last an hour or more. Dear God, make it stop. So check them out, tristatemenshealth.com. All right. We keep talking about, where were we? We're talking about Buckeye football. We talked about so much in that first segment, and it's so wonderful to have our Ohio State Athletics Director, Ross Bjork, join us in studio for the whole hour. He was just telling us about a gift he got when he was a kid. He did a little thing for Jen Winters that you'll see on our social medias, and it was a George Brett Pine Tar bat. And that's so cool. And it made me think about how that, everyone knows that play where George Brett's screaming, going crazy. So you were a Kansas City fan growing up.
You know, I grew up in Dodge City, Kansas, and this is way out in the middle of nowhere.
Wyatt Earp Town.
Wyatt Earp Town, and the Royals, they were booming at that time. Late 70s. I was born in 1972. Late 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, they were rolling. I mean, they were in every playoff, and they were, ALCS. Beat
World
the Cardinals in
85.
But that Pine Tar game, I mean, I remember exactly what I was doing, exactly where I was watching it. I mean, just like that just sears in my memory. And so, yeah, there was a, replica Pine Tar bat. And, my parents did everything they could to make us, have good crit. And I saw that bat. I'm like, I got to have it. Well, we can't do that. We're not going to get it. We live out here in Dodge City, Kansas. And my dad knew some memorabilia guy and was able to get a replica.
That's sweet.
When she asked me that question, that just kind of came to mind just because, we're in the baseball postseason and, there's nothing better than some of those games and those memories that we have as kids. So.
I should have rocked my starter satin Royals jacket.
I've gotten
Tim's a Kansas guy.
Yeah,
through and through.
I've gotten other really cool gifts from my kids and my wife and everything. But when she asked me that question, that one just kind of was searing in the memory bank.
Here's the thing, and DeVier too. We were talking about this.
Yeah,
that was a game that actually got replayed on protest. That doesn't happen. And just today, the NCAA just said that rule that Dan Lanning used to perfection at the end of Saturday that took the 4 seconds off the clock will now in the final 2 minutes be the offense gets to choose if they want that. Why would they not want that clock to say? I guess there could be a situation where they wanted to wind to shrink the game, but there you wouldn't. Protest? Let's go. Ross, let's go back.
Can we get on a plane tonight and fly back to Eugene and play the last 22 seconds?
Listen, I'm not surprised. They got an open business plan. They can adjust it with when things happen like that. The NCAA can. But I wanted to get into some business of sports questions because you mentioned something when you came in, and it just blew my mind. You mentioned you wanted Ohio State, athletic department to operate around $285 to $300 million. When you said that, it blew my mind. I mean, the New York New York Yankees and the Mets, they operate around 311, 305.
Yeah.
So that's surpassing the Lakers, the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, in this market in Ohio, one of the biggest annual sports salary cap, say, if you will. Like, how does that vision come to life? How do you manage that, and how does that play out?
Yeah. People have asked me, hey, what's your vision? And there's a lot of technical things in there. DeVier, what I would say is, leave it better than you found it is the number one mantra. And that's hard to do. I got big shoes to fill. Gene Smith had a legacy here for 19 years and obviously did a great job, but leave it better than you found it mentality. But I think when you get down to some of the technical things, we can be and should be, and I think will be the first $300 million athletic department, meaning our annual operating budget, annual operating revenue is $300 million.
That's crazy.
When we wake up every day. We're not quite there yet. There's years where it has spiked over $300 million when you add in capital projects and things like that. But on an annual operating basis, we can be and will be the first $300 million athletic department. And so not that we're trying to be braggadocious about that, but it just shows you the size and scale of our program when we do operate 36 sports, when we have a stadium that seats 105,000 people, when we have an 18,000 seat basketball arena. We have the number one fan base in the country, and there's metrics that measure this. We sell over $225 million of Ohio State product in the entire ecosystem of online, bricks and mortar, here in Columbus, statewide. Now, we don't get all that money. No. There's licensing fees on this. We get a percentage of that. That's the most in the country. We have the biggest sponsorship portfolio in the country. So the wherewithal of our program, as I sat here and as I was learning and I'd see Gene and I'd see the operation and I'm studying the books and the finances, okay, we're on the cusp of $300 million. And so let's get there sooner so we can kind of set a new baseline in terms of how we spend our money. And that goes into 36 sports and all those things that we'll talk about. But that's really where I thought about that is we can be $300 million, and there's no reason why we can't be.
This can piggyback off that with the money thing, and I hear this and see this a lot from Buckeye football fans when they're watching games, and this has come up a few times this year about the field, the actual field. And some have pointed out maybe there's too much slipping going on this actual turf field, so there's that part of it, but you get the nostalgia, folks, and they want grass. They want to see football being played on grass. I think that turf was it's millions of dollars, I know, but I think it was a 7-year life, and it just got replaced a couple of years ago. But what is the issue if we can't go back to grass, or what would that take? Is that discussed and talked about?
Yeah, first of all, the turf we have is fine. The turf we have is fine. What's happened the last couple months is the rubber granulars that are in the turf.
The little black beads, right?
Little black beads that if you walk on the field, you get them in your shoe, and you get home at night, you're like, what's that in my shoe?
Terrible.
Those black beads. We actually have a little too much, and so we're taking that out by the next game. And so there's a little too much rubber infill that kind of got to the surface. which then leads to the slickness of what we've seen the last couple games.
Better traction coming.
Track's going to be faster.
We've been on it. We obviously we see it. Mickey Marotti is our turf guru and expert. Obviously, our trainers are looking at it too from a safety standpoint. So we're recalibrating the current turf.
Yeah.
The reason why we have turf, and again, this is all predates me, is it's a multi-purpose venue. Right, and so to grow grass in there and to still have concerts and to have a soccer match and to have a hockey game in there, all those things add up. We had golf in there this summer where you could hit from different parts of the
top off. Yeah.
So we want Ohio Stadium to be a destination, not just 7 or 8 times a year. We want it to be used 25, 30, 40 times, whatever we can program in there.
Yeah.
So that leads to keeping the turf. The turf itself is actually fine. The technology that they have in today's world is just as good as grass. Nostalgic reasons, yes, that'd be nice to have. So
it's not something. It's not something we can expect to see.
It's not something that's
anytime
imminent.
soon.
Now, if technology improves around replacing natural grass more frequently, and we know in our climate, I was at Texas A&M. And we had a project where we ripped out half the field because we had to put a crane on the field. Bermuda grass in South Texas grew back in like 2 weeks.
So fast, yeah.
Here, you'd have to rely more on sodding to have a footing. So when we go to Wrigley Field, and we're playing at Wrigley Field on November 16th, they're laying sod down.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure that's good sod. If we were doing that on a frequent basis here, and it was natural grass, so maybe there's new technology. Maybe the thickness of natural sod gets better developed.
Okay.
Look, nothing's off the table, but in the meantime, nothing's imminent.
Yeah.
Around natural grass because it's a multi-purpose venue, but we need to make sure we have the right turf, and we do, and we need to make sure it's safe. And so hopefully, this new sort of recalibration of the granulars and everything is way better the rest of the year.
All right, I see some of you guys out there too, and the Buckeye Show voicemail and text line 614-460-2896, and we're on there on Twitter at the Buckeye Show. Ross Bjork, our athletics director at The Ohio State University, is in the studio with myself and DeVier. His first hire was in our building today as Jake Diebler joined the Morning Juice. We'll talk to Ross about this basketball program, getting things back to where we're used to seeing them. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Your weekend freebie is free Kroger brand 12-pack seltzer water. Simply clip your digital coupon and spend $50 or more Saturday or Sunday. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Wednesday night at 8.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
This football season, choose chill and go with the beer that's made for Ohio State game day. Whether you're at the shoe, the bar, or the basement, bring the Silver Bullets.
You can win tickets to the game against that team up north on November 30th.
Enter keyword kickoff at CoorsLight.com/college football.
No purchase necessary. Open only to residents of Ohio through 10/31/24. See official rules for details at CoorsLight.com/college football. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
30% of D1 athletes report betting-related threats and harassment after games. This threatens the safety and mental health of students like Jade.
I'm a college athlete, and I'm more than a bet. When you threaten my life and my family because you lost money, it really scares me.
These threats are not acceptable. Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Buckeye talk that's way fresher than a Fan Cafe chili dog. Doggy. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light.
Timmy Hall, DeVier Posey, Ohio State Athletics Director Ross Bjork in the building, in the studio with us. Ross, we have a thing upstairs called the Fan Cafe.
Okay.
It's got like one of those refrigerators, and it just scares the hell out of us because we don't. Some of these things don't have expiration dates on it. They're like those prepackaged things.
Okay.
I got a thing called a Taco Sloppy Joe in the mini fridge back there.
That sounds like a gut buster.
We can eat it in the next segment if you want to.
Sounds like a gut buster. I'm not sure about that.
That's a fear factor. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Yeah. I got a question in from Dylan on social media. Would love to hear you talk about that atmosphere that the football team was in on Saturday. Said it was electric. I only found that in the shoe in 2016 versus that team up north. Curious if you were impressed and looking into what we can do to replicate that, not lose the tradition from our band. He said Oregon's band was thumbs down. I didn't have a take on Oregon's band, but to all that other stuff.
Yeah, no, it was impressive. The atmosphere I just came from at my previous institution, everything was, structured, uniform. I mean, they have the yell leaders, which is so unique, and then we changed music around up there. People are doing the lights and stuff like that. Oregon didn't have any flashing lights or anything, but their stuff was in sync, and they did a great job. They have an Oregon theme song that they played, I think, between first and second quarter. They had Shout between third and fourth.
Yeah, Shout's the big one.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I've noticed some things that I think we can do better and be more engaging with our fans and make it. Look, the whole goal is make it a home field advantage. Yeah. That's the whole goal, right? Where people are like, oh, I don't want to play there, right? That's the goal of everything. So I've met with Block O student leadership. Yeah. I've met with our band leadership to get to know them. So there's a balance in all of this, but I've noticed some things, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but I would say that I think we can be a lot more intimidating.
Yeah.
And I know Coach Day and I have talked about that, and so what that looks like, way too premature. But I will tell you that I think that's something that we're going to look at. And
More
evaluate.
live animals.
More live animals.
Yep.
Yeah. Like
Well,
what kind of animals? Like what kind of animals?
All bears, tigers, everything.
Well, take the block O. I know people would be mad. Move the recruits into the end zone and put them on the other side. Just put them right behind the opponents.
You're getting specific on me, DeVier. I don't want to be too specific.
Well, as a player, I always felt like that. We played at Iowa, and I don't know if you haven't been there yet, but the locker room is pink for the visitors, and it's literally not even 5 yards in there right on top of you. So, they can see, it's like, hey, that play's not going to work. But it gets on you third or fourth quarter when the game gets tight. They're right there.
There's no room.
Just stuff like that can intimidate.
Look, to me, the best atmospheres in today's modern college football, they utilize technology.
Mm-hmm.
They utilize uniform activity of some kind where there's a song that gets played at a certain time, and everybody knows it, and everybody sings along, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's some kind of spirit, whether that's a towel, a pom-pom. Hey, look, I love the fact that our students are having the shoe, right? They take their shoes off, right?
Yeah.
So can we create something that really identifies with uniformity, tradition, new technology, and then just get the crowd involved?
Yeah.
And we can still honor tradition.
Yeah, we're not getting ready to hang on Sloopy.
And our band will still be front and center. You're not getting away from any of those things, but those are the elements that we're studying and will continue to study.
Absolutely. Let's bring it into the 2024, 2025, make it crazy in there. I wanted to ask you about, just in layman's term, can you break down this new NIL structure? I'm trying to understand it. I know it's new, and it's, I guess what's scary is that the student athletes will become, employees of the university. Is that, do you go that far, or is it?
Man, DeVier, how many seconds
in a short answer?
Yeah, look, if you're talking about the current NIL structure, so it started in 2021, and we first started it, we said, hey, look, it's going to be between the athlete and the institution. And Ohio State took the same position that we took at Texas A&M. Hey, let's let the market decide. Well, that didn't last but a year, because collectives got involved. And so then we said, hey, we need to be more involved. So we've been able to be more involved, but we still have a hands-off approach.
Yeah.
In the new model, when the House federal case gets settled, which hopefully will be in the first of 2025, there's still going to be an NIL structure.
Yeah.
And we're going to be able to help facilitate, identify deals, matchmake between a company and an athlete. That's going to be one system. One NIL system. And we can kind of do that now, but it's still have to take a hands-off approach.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be a bucket that's called just straight-up revenue sharing. That's going to be $21 to $22 million that we have to spread across the entire department.
Right.
We decide who gets what in terms of the teams. Hey, football gets this amount, men's basketball gets this amount, this team gets this amount. We have to decide that.
How do you do that?
There's a lot of calculations, whether it's market-based, whether it's Title IX applicable. We're still going through that assessment.
Okay.
What do we think we can be competitive in? Football, obviously, based on market, they drive the most exposure.
Yeah.
So you're going to have that bucket. And then you're going to have scholarships. So you're going to have scholarships that are traditional. You're going to have revenue sharing, and you're going to have NIL.
3 buckets of your chance to earn.
And scholarships are still endowed, correct?
Scholarships are endowed.
Yep.
Not every scholarship's endowed, but we have endowed scholarships.
Yep.
We'll continue to do that. And really how that's accounted for is going to look different, because we're not going to have scholarship limits anymore. Right now we're limited to 85 scholarships in football.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a limit on scholarships, but the roster is going to be capped at 105.
I said I was going to ask about Jake Diebler. I think I want to just do that in the next segment to not change the subject on the fly, because what you got on to, DeVier. And what I was thinking about, and I actually heard Bo Bishop on his show talking about this, and this was great. So when you have to find revenue streams now with the way that this is going. With this discussion now about maybe a Big Ten and SEC partnership, I'm just curious, because we're seeing Florida State and Clemson get into court cases about this.
Yeah.
We know that the partnership with the Big Ten is historical, and I'm sure you see great value in that, right? But what are the chances maybe in the future of where this is going to where Ohio State draws the most ratings, draws the most eyeballs, where there's ways that maybe Ohio State can earn some more that isn't just shared evenly
They did that
among
this
everyone
weekend.
else.
They did that this weekend.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? It
I know.
peaked at 10.5 million.
Yeah.
Peaked at like 13, I think, million.
Yep.
So again, I don't want to be too specific on that, Tim, because but you're onto something, right? And really, what it kind of I'll use this in a generic sense. The reason why the SEC are coming together because we have common interest.
Mm-hmm.
We face similar challenges, and we're the biggest brands.
Yep.
We bring the most value collectively, right? And then there's some brands that bring bigger value, and we're one of them. And so what that system looks like moving forward, I think, is going to continue to evolve. And that's why I think we need like-minded institutions in the same room.
Right.
Former commissioner that I used to work with in previous league, Greg Sankey, he's the current commissioner, but former commissioner for me. He says complex decisions are not made in rooms with a large amount of people. They need to be in rooms with smaller amount of people. That's why the Big Ten and the SEC are coming together, like-minded. So where that heads in the future in terms of unequal revenue distribution, we're not quite there yet in the Big Ten. But I do think as we look into the future, the biggest brands are going to drive the most amount of value.
What do you think?
That's already sort of populating, if you will. I
Yeah.
think people understand that. What that looks like is really, really complicated. And TV deals are set till 2032 in the Big Ten, all those things. So back to what he was saying about the NIL, we have to find $21 to $22 million of either new revenue or we have to cut expenses to pay the athletes that amount of money. And that's what we're working on right now. We have a big budget. We make a lot of money, but how we spend our money has to look different.
Okay, much more wherever we go. And the discussion about Jake Diebler and the men's basketball program as they're about to start their year in a couple of nights here with an exhibition game on Friday night. Ross Bjork, the athletics director of The Ohio State University, is in with us. DeVier is here. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Want to kick off your fall shopping with a touchdown? Shop Bob's Discount Furniture for pieces that fit your style and your space. Check out Bob's space-conscious and style-forward furniture for every room, like counter-height dining sets, convenient lift-top coffee tables, guest-friendly pop-up sleepers, and storage-filled seating perfect for game day hangouts. So stop and score winning design with Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Imagine a tailgate. The heat of the flame, the sizzle of the burger, the squeeze of the ketchup. Grilling is essential to tailgating as the game itself. Weber grills are there in the hours, minutes, and even seconds before kickoff. Before the best damn band in the land plays the battle cry, signaling it's time to take the field. Weber is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. This season, Weber created an officially licensed limited edition Ohio State grill inspired by the iconic Buckeye helmets. Find the best damn grill in the land at local Ohio retailers.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Bengals.
Live coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick It One.
Your Central Ohio home for Browns football. The Fan.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture expert technicians who are quick but not rushed. When you hear the bell, breathe in and out. Now, let go of your oil change-anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today and find automotive peace. No appointment needed.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com.
Register for pre-sale access now at BuckeyeCountrySuperFest.com.
Yeah, that's
Tickets
how
on sale this Friday at 10 a.m.
Lord, that's how I get by.
Want to know anything about the fans' contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Where every segment is another Buckeye surprise. You've got the Buckeye Show.
Timmy Hall, DeVier Posey, and look at this, Ohio State Athletics Director Ross Bjork in for the entire hour. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this.
Absolutely.
Very
this
good.
was fun.
Yeah.
Fun conversation. Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, covered so much ground so far. We got one more segment to try to cram more in. And I mentioned a couple segments ago, got a new head basketball coach. I know it's weird we're still calling him new, but it is his first full season being the permanent head coach. How crazy was this to have to oversee a firing? Like we briefly went into it earlier in the hour, but then you watch the way Jake Diebler performs in the interim. And I know you spoke on this before and how he kind of forced your hand, but I imagine this was a lengthy process, one that kept you up at night with the search and how it ultimately ended with Jake Diebler.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it actually helped me acclimate better to Ohio State than maybe I would have if I would have got here on March 3rd and kind of been like, okay, I'm the advisor and I'm sitting in some meetings, but I'm not really saying much. I mean, I had to learn HR procedures. I had to learn board of trustee procedures. I had to learn contract procedures. I had to deal with legal counsel right away. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole layer of process when you hire people at every university that you have to go through. And I learned that on the fly. And then what was really cool is I talked to so many former players. Yeah. From Jimmy Jackson to Michael Redd to Chris Gent. I mean, Scooney Penn. I wouldn't have talked to those guys maybe until we had the family reunion that Jake hosted. A couple weeks ago.
Vet week,
yeah, maybe I wouldn't have talked to those guys or met those guys or had a relationship. And so connecting with former players, understanding the culture. I met with a team. I met with a team a couple days after I got here, and I said, hey, guys, what are you guys looking for in your next head coach? Don't give me names, but what are the characteristics? So I was able to build a relationship with the players maybe quicker than I would have otherwise. So that part really, I think, was a benefit. And look, no one likes to see coaching changes. These affect families and lives. But for me, coming in, it was really, really a benefit to get to know the place. And then Jake, every time I turned around, look, we talked to some big-time coaches and coaches that were pounding on our door saying, I want that job. And every time I'd turn around and I'd see Jake and I'd see him in action, I'd talk to him, I'd hear his plan again. Hey, I want to check on this, or hey, tell me this one more time. It was a no-brainer. Why would we not hire this guy who knows the place, Ohio roots, can recruit his butt off, clearly understands modern basketball, has the energy? Just watch him on the sideline. Watch the style of play. The style of play changed, right, when he took over.
Oh, it's just up-tempo.
So
it's fun to watch.
Yeah, now that he has the whole offseason. So, look, I don't know how many games we're going to win. Who knows what's going to happen. But I can guarantee you this. We're going to be in the hunt. We're going to be in the conversation. People are going to gravitate towards Jake and our team. We got great guys on our team, and we're going to let it play out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So just so many elements that came into play.
That's my favorite thing about Diebler is that he understands like the youth and high school basketball scene because he grew up here and he understands.
He's an Ohio kid.
And he understands how like AAU, EYBL, all of these shoe market and these shoe tournaments have changed the game. And I think, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, when you think about Thad Sex, our last time we had success when we had, Final Fours. And those guys like Greg Oden and Daquan Cook, they were committed as recruits, as like sophomores and juniors. And I think Diebler understands that. And I love the way he's recruiting our talent here in Ohio, because we can hoop here.
Yeah.
We got a drug you've seen. Yeah.
That's the thing. So when we looked at the future too, okay, who has the best relationships sort of in the marketplace in college basketball?
Yeah.
Jake already had them.
Yep.
So these next couple classes in the state of Ohio, tons of momentum. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. And probably one of the coolest moments that I've had since I've been here was going to Jake's house on that Saturday night and saying, hey, you're the guy. And we had like a term sheet in our hand, and his little girl said, hey, what are those papers? And I said, your dad's about ready to get a pay raise. Here, your dad needs to sign these. And he's our coach.
He stayed pretty much the same, because he came in. He was in today, so people heard that. They can listen to Morning Juice's podcast. He did a great half hour. He did a half hour with the Buckeye Show a little bit after he was hired, and we were giving him some grief. Like you got to have a chef now, right, Jake? Like, you're making over $2 million a year. Like, he's like, no. He's like, I'm a foodie. I like to cook a little bit. I'm like, you don't have time to cook. And he's like, well, but I love to eat. But he seemed to stay pretty grounded.
As a younger coach, one of the things I think when younger coaches take over, sometimes they'll lean too far into one area or the other. I've been really impressed that Jake is like seeing the big picture. Like, he truly is a CEO. So he'll do a radio show, then he knows he has to go to practice, and then he'll do a fundraising deal, and then he'll go, like, he went to the women's ice hockey match last week.
Saw that.
Right? I mean, he came to our all-staff meeting today and did sort of a season preview. So he's going to see the big picture, and sometimes that's hard for a young coach. So I think it's been really impressive.
I saw that, and we know expectations for football, right? When it's that kind of emphasis, Ryan Day says it, win every game. I know, except for last one, and now it's win all the rest of them. It's beat the rival, get to the Big Ten championship game, and try to win the national championship. The basketball team, too, I think when I talk hoops with buddies, I feel like they don't realize that Ohio State's got one of the most historically successful men's basketball programs. They're kind of close to being a blue blood themselves. So I know you said, I don't know what's going to happen this year. It's first year with a new coach. But quickly now, people want to see them back in the tournament and trying to make runs in the tournament.
That's exactly right. And I think this team is poised. I mean, look, we got a backcourt, a deep backcourt. We added some size. Look, teams in the NCAA tournament have great backcourts typically, right? So I think we're built for that. We're built for the up-tempo, right? We don't have to just out-physical people. We can outrun people. And so I think Jake has built a team that, fits his style. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, one last question. I wanted to ask a fun question. Since you've been here in Columbus, you can't say the football stadium or the Woody, and what's your favorite part of campus? Like you're like, wow, like this feels good. Like I love this part of Ohio State's campus. And then favorite food place.
Yeah, gosh, favorite. You're going to put me on the spot there. You know what? It was I took a tour of campus a while back in the summer, and I love libraries. Like, I love
awesome.
the peacefulness of it. So Thompson Library,
it's awesome.
The beauty of it, the glass. You walk in there and you got to be quiet, right? Everybody's got to whisper. Like, it just has a feeling where it's like, okay, you can just take a deep breath in the library,
get some work done.
The oval's so pretty, right? Awesome. I mean, the trees and everything, and so you can't beat the rotunda.
Rotunda.
I mean, to me, just the classical nature of that, but library, oval, rotunda,
like it.
Pretty cool. I mean, there's so many great places in Columbus. Probably one of the best meals I've had is an Indian food place called Roo.
Okay.
ROOH, I think.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out.
High Street.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
I mean, look, any one of Cameron Mitchell's places, right, are top notch. Hyde Park.
Sure.
I mean, come on now.
I was looking for the hole in the wall. That's what I was looking for. Is Rue more like family, like not too fancy?
It's pretty fancy. Yeah.
It's fancy? Okay.
It's fancy.
All right. I thought you had it.
Get your nice table at Hyde Park. You've had a good week.
I was living in the I was living in the short north before my family got here.
Yeah.
And Arch City Tavern.
Okay.
That place is pretty good.
Do you play golf?
I love to play golf.
Best golf course you played?
Well, I've only played one.
Which one?
Muirfield. with our sponsor tournament the other day. Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah. Sorry, we asked.
That was a humble brag.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Did not come across that way. It was a sponsor event.
Yeah, and I was there too, and I played.
You should play golf courses like Muirfield Village.
That's right. Let me just give a shout out to 97.1 The Fan.
Yeah.
You guys do an amazing job. I love listening to Paul and Jim and Ronnie Stokes and the whole crew. And I just heard that this is the number 3 rated radio station in the country.
Well,
you guys are killing it. So thanks for having me on, and enjoy the time together.
Ross Bjork, Ohio State's athletics director. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for doing it. Really cool. Bob and Jody are going to break down the emotional night at Nationwide. The Inside Edge is next, followed by On the Money. It's all ahead right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
This football season, choose chill and go with the beer that's made for Ohio State game day. Whether you're at the shoe, the bar, or the basement, bring the Silver Bullets.
You can win tickets to the game against that team up north on November 30th.
Enter keyword kickoff at CoorsLight.com/college football.
No purchase necessary. Open only to residents of Ohio through 10/31/24. See official rules for details at CoorsLight.com/college football. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Pella has forever been known for the best of windows, Wilson. But our doors, just as game-changing.
Yep, same with us.
We've got traditional and modern options, but also some really innovative stuff, like big, bold colors or tuck-away sliding doors.
But do you have the give it a little kick to open it door?
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, you got to give it a good little kick to open it.
Get the windows and doors that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted. PellaColumbus.com.
Buckeyes, I'm Kurt Lewis, United Healthcare of Ohio CEO and graduate of The Ohio State University. United Healthcare and the Ohio Chamber of Commerce believe healthy small businesses are vital to our economy. That's why we're ready to give your small business a big promotion at no cost to you through our small business sweepstakes. Winners receive radio promotion, social media recognition, and more. To enter, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/UHC. United Healthcare, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For terms and conditions, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/UHC. Sweepstakes rules and restrictions apply.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. Fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football